this is Dan. Welcome to another video. Today we're doing another chapter in Hermitcraft Mayhem. We are reading chapter 3, as you can tell from the title of this video. Continuing on with the story and seeing where it goes. Yeah. I'm still working on it, but I might as well start reading it, because, it gets people to at least enjoy it, if they want to. But yeah, there are captions available if you are interested to read along as I read, or if I'm not clear enough, I'll try to be, but you know how things roll. Practice is what we do here. Let's begin. Scar opened his eyes to find himself in a forest. Dark spruce trees rose high above his head, reaching for the cloudy black sky. There was no stars tonight in the dream world. Strange. Scar frowned as he slowly got to his feet. Moments passed before a shiver ran down his spine. He knew where he was, but why was he here? It couldn't be happening again, could it? Surely not. Gerald had said himself that there were far better ways of tormenting them than in their dreams. But here, he was alone. Grian? Impulse? Gem? Scar called, turning in a circle. Forest was dense and heavy with a gray fog. Not the blue he'd seen last time. Maybe Gerald wasn't here after all. That's when the hair on the back of his neck began to rise, shivers of goosebumps crawling down his arms. There's someone out there. Guys, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Scar looked up into the night sky. Should he try reaching out with his thoughts through the link? Would it even work this time? Doubt crept into his heart as a small voice whispered into his ear. They won't be able to find you in time. Scar gasped as he whirled around behind him, finding that no one was there. Why was this place so creepy? Couldn't he have woken up by the field of lilies, sitting on the picnic blanket, talking with Grian or Impulse about life, looking up at the starry night sky where everything was as it should be? We didn't have to be afraid for a few hours. Was that too much to ask? You don't scare me, Scar demanded, trying his best to hold his chin high. He couldn't do much to hide his heart hammering in his chest, though. Would whoever was out there hear it? I don't think that's the entire truth. Scar, good times. Where are you? Scar shouted, clenching his fist as a bow appeared in one hand, an arrow in the other. A shadowy, cloaked figure appeared just behind the tree line, a chuckle reaching the hermit's ears. Those won't do much against me. You know that. How many times will you keep fighting before you realize that you can't escape? I'm not afraid of you. Scar took a nervous step back, raising his bow at the shadow figure. His hands were trembling as he stared at the figure, daring it to move. You can't hurt me here. Sigh. The figure stepped closer. Scar could see that the cloak reached down to the man's feet. The man was muscular, with broad shoulders. A hood shielded his face in the darkness. Not that Scar could see much in this forest to begin with. Scar took another step back. The man chuckled again. Why are you here? Don't you have better things to do? Scar insisted. That doesn't concern you, good times. You still will get what you deserve, even if I have to break you down slowly. You won't break me, Scar said defiantly. You can't hurt me when I'm awake, not when I'm with my friends. Your friends can't help you here, the man said coolly. I've been able to pull you here without issue. You? Scar stammered, his eyes widening. I should be more clear, shouldn't I? The man snickered, clapping his hands as Scar gasped. More shadowy figures appeared, surrounding him on every side. There was nowhere for him to run. There was no way he could fight them all. We make sure justice is done. Good times. You won't run from your fate forever. I've done nothing but be honest with you, Scar said simply. I only did what I had to in order to protect my friends. You keep getting in the way, the man growled, taking another step toward him. Scar instinctively raised his bow higher. The man didn't hesitate. Just came closer. I will shoot. For what pain? What gain? You know it doesn't matter. The man laughed, snapping his fingers as dark black fangs erupted from a nearby tree, lunging at Scar. The hermit yelped, dropping his bow and arrow, diving out of the way. He didn't go very far before he felt something thick and slimy grab his leg. No! Please, let me go! Scar screamed. The vines dragged him slowly toward the tree, as he struggled to turn around and untangle the vine, only for more to spring toward him and bind his hands to his sides and his legs together. Let me go! I won't let you go until there's nothing left. The man, Gerald, growled as Scar squirmed against his restraints, feeling the hard bark of the tree a few moments later. Scar's eyes widened again, seeing the man approaching him. What was he supposed to do? He was trapped. Help! Scar gulped as the man stopped mere inches in front of him, now holding an obsidian dagger in hand. Green! Impulse! Somebody! No one can save you now, Gerald sneered, pulling down his hood with his free hand so the hermit could see his scarred face. Scar's Stampy had given him while protecting his sister, and the burned gem had given him while protecting Scar. You'll die alone, just as your kind deserves. No. Scar choked back a sob as dread washed over him. He shook his head, trying one last time to struggle free. It was no use. It was always no use. Gerald always cornered him, always pinned him down, so that there was nothing he could do. He was alone. Yeah, these things do get dark. This is why I say it's not for kids under the age of 13 unless they can handle it. Any last words, Mr. Good Times? A gleam flashed in Gerald's stormy gray eyes. Scar shook his head. You don't have to do this. Scar saw the army of cloaked figures closing in from all around the hermit and Gerald, like a wall of darkness trapping him inside. It has to be done, Gerald said with an air of finality, as he plunged the dagger into the hermit's chest. Scar screamed as pain ripped through him. Tears burned in his eyes as he felt every bit of life pour out of him. All he could see was Gerald's face, grinning down at him with a hunger in his eyes that Scar knew would never be satisfied. The man dug the weapon deeper into the hermit as Scar screamed again. When would it end? Would it ever end? The hermit sobbed as he felt someone shaking him by the shoulders. He groaned, hearing a voice whispering his name. The darkness was too heavy, too real. Gerald was everywhere. There was nowhere he could go where the man wouldn't find him. Nowhere was safe. No one was safe. Nothing was safe. Scar, the familiar voice whispered into his ear. I'm here. You're okay. Scar let out a sigh that came out more like a whimper as his eyes fluttered open. He blinked, staring up at the blank ceiling. Something was lodged in his mouth. A rag. He'd put it in when everyone else was asleep. Apart from Liam, of course, so no one else would hear him scream. Watch me. Liam was sitting in a chair beside him as the boy reached over, prying the rag from the hermit's mouth. Thank you, Scar said shakily, hating how his body was trembling. It's gotten worse, hasn't it? Liam frowned. Scar could see the hints of bags starting to form under the boy's eyes. Liam had really kept his promise, staying with him and waking him before he woke anyone up. The first night had been the worst, of course. Fortunately, everyone else had been too exhausted to notice, or had been under a sleeping potion. Everyone apart from Liam. Scar nodded weakly. He didn't have to touch his face to know his cheeks were wet. I'm sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about, Liam said gently, rubbing the hermit's shoulder. Nightmares can be difficult, especially when you have ghosts involved. Scar chuckled. Have you ever been haunted by a ghost? No, Liam sighed. But it can be difficult. Just ask Stampy or Julius. Scar nodded. I'm not sure I could go back to sleep ever again. Are you sure you don't want to try to headbed again? Liam offered. Or a sleeping potion? I don't want to be trapped there again, Scar admitted, groaning as he sat up. There are too many of them. Liam frowned. There's got to be something I could do. You've already done so much, Scar insisted. You don't have to sacrifice your sleep for me. I've never seen a nightmare the way you had yours. Liam shook his head. Something about that felt different. I might need to get in touch with Stampy to see if he's got any advice. I don't want to worry anyone. I know. Liam held up a hand. But I've tried everything I could think of. You're going to need a bit more help than just me. You're not going to tell the other hermits, are you? Scar asked nervously. I think you should do that. But you and Paulson Green have a strong connection in that world. Together you can figure out how to stop Gerald. Staying with either of them would be better than being alone. You can even ask to practice one of the exercises. They wouldn't know the difference. Maybe they would if I kept asking, Scar admitted. Or worse, Gerald finds me and drags me away again like he did last night. Liam squeezed Scar's shoulder. I'm not as mentally trained as you hermits are, so it's still a surprise. You're going to need to talk to them eventually. You can't let Gerald win. I don't want to be dragged into it too, Scar said quietly. At least you wouldn't be alone, Liam said softly, his bright blue eyes meeting Scar's green. That's what I want. Gerald is scarier when you're alone. Scar nodded. I'll bring it up in the morning. Promise? Liam raised an eyebrow. I promise. Good. Now try to get some rest. It's going to be a long day tomorrow. Well, what will you be doing? Finishing tests on case blood and talking to Stampy, I guess. Liam shrugged. Sounds like fun. Scar smiled. Liam returned the smile before wishing him good night. Then, the boy was gone. And that is where we're going to end this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys in the next one, next week. Whenever that might be. Whenever you decide to come back and join for the next episode. Of course, the next episode will be linked in the description if you want. I'm still debating whether or not I go back through with all the end screens and just edit it, make it so like the next episode will show up there like I've seen other people do, but I don't know if it's worth going through from Clockwork Chronicles all the way to here. That's a lot of videos to redo. And it was already long enough to just do the next video in the description. But, I mean, I could test it out with this and just these few, just see how it goes. If I notice something, I might bite the bullet and do it. Of course. That's just the main thing, and you don't have to worry about that. You just enjoy your day, have fun, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.